Hi, hello everyone, this is Ting from UIT, and today I would like to share about the actions we did for improve developers experience this year. So this year we mainly released the NPM package and type-free definitions, and also faced some minor issues. But today we would like to focus on the NPM package and type definition part. So why we need to release the NPM package? So as you know, today we front-end developers use frameworks like React or Vue, and we build our application with tools like Webpack or Rollup. And when we need to install some dependency, we use tools like Yarn or npm and download this package from npm's repository. So, but there's a problem is that LIFF was only provided on our CDN side as a single SDK.js file. So this caused many inconvenience for the NPM package users. For example, if you was using LIFF in last year, and if you are a type-3 user, you may get some error like you cannot find a name called LIFF. And also if you use JS and with ESLint, and you may get error like LIFF is not defined, and you need to work with this error by yourself. So also LIFF was not provided as an NPM package, so there's no type definition. So if you have some type error inside your parameter, for example, if you use send message, and actually if you look at the document, it accepts an array of objects. But if you pass a single object, it will be an error on runtime. But if you just look at your code and see find nothing wrong until runtime, you cannot load this kind of the error. This causes many lots of inconvenience, right? So to deal with this kind of problem, we finally released our NPM package this year. So what provided by this package is like we provide more friendly hints. For example, if you use LIFF inside your editor like VS Code, and you type LIFF.init, you'll see a list of functions you can use inside LIFF. Also, you got hints for parameter, like if you use LIFF.setMessage, and you can see what kind of type you can use in a message. Also, if you now, as the last example, have a type error inside LIFF.setMessage, and you will see a type error inside your parameter. And if you use LIFF.ready, which is not a function. So if you use LIFF.ready as a function, you will also get a type error just inside your editor. And you don't have to wait until runtime to know why it can be error. Also, and we provide the JS doc inside, so you can now just check the document inside your editor and do not have to check documents on our website again and again. So this NPM package provides a lot of convenience. But there may be a problem is that this should be easy, right? Just release an NPM package. But actually, we face many problems to release this package. There are two problems. One is LIFF was not typed perfectly. And another problem is LIFF has a high dependency with native clients. So let's go through one by one. Let's go from the type definition part. LIFF was used some type-3 configuration, which is not very strict before. So for example, there may be some function and its definition is return a string, but sometimes actually it returns undefined. To fix this kind of error, we have to correct this configuration and fix our code base again and again. And also, there are some type definition inside LIFF which is not actually useful. For example, there may be a function use parameter type like any or object, or maybe recall of string and string. And actually, this kind of definition just for passing the type check, but this is not useful for users. Users cannot know what attribute is actually inside and do not get a type hint in their editor. So to deal with this kind of problem, we have to define the actual interface in detail and put this kind of interface as parameters. For example, we redefine the get decode ID token. The return value of get ID token was defined as any, and now we changed into our interface called JWT payload. So if now you use the return value of get decode ID token, you will see what attributes is inside your variable, which is very helpful for debuggers. And also the definition of state message. The parameter was array of any, which is also helps user, right? But we take some type definition from LIFF SDK. So now if you use LIFF.setMessage, you will get the list of what kind of type you can use inside this function. So the type definition part is solved. And another problem is that LIFF has high dependency with native kind. So let's go through it. As you know, LIFF has some feature related to Line's app. So whenever maybe iOS or Android get update or user update their Line app versions, and if you use the old version of LIFF and use the new version of Line app, then your application may be broken. So there was a serious problem. So before we release npm package, we only have the SDK file in our CDN. So if the SDK will be broken in line 10.10, and what we should do, just update this single file on the CDN. So all users use LIFF SDK will get updated because they all use this single file, right? So the problem is solved. But after we release our npm package, so there will be a situation that maybe a user, he always use LIFF 2.2.3. So maybe LIFF 2.2.3 is broken in line 10.10. And even we face this problem in next version, but all users use 2.2.3 will broken. So to deal with this problem, what we did is we separate the code related to native into multi-part. Before we did that, LIFF was only one single LIFF.js file and includes all features like iOS supporting, Android supporting, and web-related features like Message API or web login. So all this is inside one LIFF. And we separate into LIFF core, which include web features, and this core part is provided on npm. And also there are two parts like LIFF for Android and LIFF for iOS. This kind of features related to clients is dynamically loaded, so it will be always latest. For example, if you install LIFF 2.2.3 and we release LIFF 2.2.24 later and fix the problem inside line 10.10, even you use LIFF 2.2.3 from npm, but actually your application will dynamically load the LIFF iOS 2.2.24 to your application. So the problem will be fixed. Your application won't be broken by update of Line application or iOS or Android. So after the type definition problem fixed and the dependency problem also fixed, we can finally release our npm package. So that's what we did for the developers experience this year. And in the future, we would like to improve our workflow to make our documentation better. And also, LIFF will decide to go to more oriented, which will also make your developing and testing more easy. For example, you may consider a lot of clients to debug LIFF application, but after we go to web-oriented, maybe you don't need to consider so much about the client, so all clients are the same. So about this topic, if you are interested, please continue watch next session. Thank you for listening.